Hi everyone, how you going? I'll give it a couple of minutes for people to come in. I've got another story for you. As you may know, I'm not only on Facebook, but I'm on TikTok as well. And people leave me messages on various different platforms. You don't think Indue just gets worse and worse. So we've heard in the past how when travelling to hospitals, you can't use your Indue card at the hospital pharmacy, you can't use your Indue card when you've got to stay somewhere, you can't use it to buy food, right? Most of the hospitals, you couldn't use it for parking, etc., etc. I had a parent who was contacting me today, and when her son was in ICU, she needed to transfer some funds. She had no access to funds. And no matter what, they refused to transfer money from her Indue account into her normal account. She couldn't buy food. She couldn't pay for the parking. Right, nothing. All right. But you know what they did want? They wouldn't accept the documentation from the hospital as to why her son was in ICU. They wanted a photograph of her son in the bed to prove that her son was in ICU in the children's hospital. This is just getting downright ridiculous. So people, you'd normally expect, do you need a letter from my doctor to prove that he's there or that or whatever. It's bad enough, the invasion of privacy, when it comes to medical records, right? But medical records aren't good enough. Producing the documents to prove from your doctors is not good enough. It's not accepted. They want bloody photographs. This is sickening. Now, this is a child's privacy as well. A child that is in ICU, possibly not even conscious. But they demanded a photo of that child in ICU to get approval to transfer funds across. A really nice nurse bailed this woman out with some money rather than go through the indignity and send that photo off. Right? Otherwise that parent would have been really stranded. These stories are getting... I want to say to card holders, don't hold back. You can message us, inbox privately. You can message me personally, right? If you find me on TikTok, you can DM me privately, right? I want all your stories. It's time to really open the floodgates, right? And show everybody what is going on. How dare a financial institution or even Services Australia demand photographs of a minor in ICU in a children's hospital to prove so that the parent can access some money, right? Okay. This is just ridiculous. And it's infuriating. I will be on to more politicians tomorrow. I'm not going to let this rest. All right, this parent has contacted me in DM and has also text messaged me, and I hope to connect with her properly. Right? I'm not releasing any names for privacy reasons. Right? But I'm getting sick of this invasion of privacy to the point of having to provide frigging photographs, right? Now we're looking at a minor who could possibly be unconscious, and they're demanding photographs of that minor in ICU. Why? That surely, there's something really sadistic going on here. And it's really getting me. It's really getting to me. And I want to just scream. I really do. And I'm going to. I'm going to keep screaming. And I'm not going to shut up about this. Right? I'm not going to shut up about this. Right? And I'm happy to share all the card holder stories. And if you don't want me to mention your name or where you are or whatever, that's fine. As long as we can connect and I've got the whole story and I know who you are and stuff like that. Asking for a photo of a child in ICU to prove that you're at the hospital to get access to funds is just more than pathetic. Now, she told me also in the messages, if they've got notice that they're going to the hospital, right, she tries and saves up as much cash as she can. But the times when it's an emergency, when she needs to go to the hospital and she's caught short, she's stuffed. She can't access any cash. And there's nothing worse than being sat next to your child hungry and not have any funds to be able to buy food or do anything. I know I've been there and I've done that, and I'm not even on the card. I've done that with a Royal Flying Doctor's trip with my daughter and sat by her bedside for 3 days. I had no money for food, right? Because they don't think of the parent or the situation you're in. But seriously, to have money stuck on the cashier's debit card and be denied being able to access it, right? Because, of course, she did not send them the photo. And a big thank you to whoever that nurse was that was able to financially bail this woman out. But nurses aren't supposed to do that. You know what I mean? That's not their job description. But for you know, somebody else having a big heart, helping them out, oh, it's just frustrating. It's frustrating. It really is. What can we do? As I said, keep letting me know the stories. I'll keep screaming from the rooftops. We're not going to let them get away with this. You know? I still haven't got over the fact that they wanted photographs of O'Kelly's chest for approval to be able to buy a prosthetics bra. I'm still furious about that. Absolutely furious. It makes me feel sick. Alright? And I had Bianca ring me, who was the lady who was denied buying a bra because they wanted photos of her bra. She just couldn't believe it either. She was absolutely furious. She's like, what the... You know? What are they doing? They're massively overstepping the mark. Since when do Services Australia or Indue staff have the right to ask for this sort of invasion of privacy? Oh, show us the proof that your child's in ICU, right? You know, show us the proof. No, you don't get to invade a minor's privacy when they're in hospital or ICU. It's just not good enough. The thought that just went through my head, but I'm not going to say it. It's disgusting, it's despicable, and we've had parents denied access to their bereavement payments that went on the card 100%, and Indue said no to paying for the cremation and funerary urns for twin babies, right? And then when that person borrowed money off of her mum, Indue still held that money from the bereavement payment and refused to let her transfer the funds to her mum to pay her back. So they won't let you bury somebody, even though you get paid a bereavement payment. Indue gets to snatch 100% of that. They won't let you use that towards the funeral costs, right, of children. And God help you if you have cancer and have a mastectomy and you need a prosthetics bra. In order to get permission to be able to transfer funds to buy one, you've got to show them the pictures of your chest to prove that you don't have your breast anymore. And now, if your child's in ICU and you need to transfer funds from your account in an emergency situation, you have to send a photograph of your child lying in ICU. Somebody is gaslighting here, because this is, and it's worse. So some of the comments that I've had in regards to last night's live video regarding our cancer survivor, that is tantamount to sexual assault by demanding to see the photos of her scarred chest is bearing on sexual assault, right? Demanding to see the photos of a child lying in ICU is child abuse in my I'm not happy with this at all. Yeah, more phone calls to be made, for sure. They're not going to get away with this. We're not going to let them get away with this. We're going to keep screaming about this. You know, because this is just not on. Parents shouldn't have to go through this. Cancer survivors shouldn't have to go through this. Nobody should have to go through this kind of dehumanisation and indignity and embarrassment. Right? Kate Campbell, I didn't calm down last night for hours. I couldn't even sleep. I was so angry. Because I've been working with O'Kelly for 2 years. And, you know, I've known her story is so complex and so complicated and so big. And the amount of trauma she's gone through, courtesy of Indue. But this is the last straw. You know what I mean? It's the last straw. It really is. It's like, no, they're just getting way out of hand. Because they're not accountable to anybody. They don't have to account to you or me or the Senate. They can do whatever they want. And they're really pushing boundaries here. Right? You know, it is really pushing boundaries. And I think it's disgusting. And I'm not going to let it lie. I'm not going to let them get away with it. Alright, well, I'm going to go. Otherwise, I'll have another night with blood pressure going through the roof and not being able to sleep. But this is not good enough. We're not going to settle for this. And as I said, if you're a cashless debit card holder and you've had problems with your card, they've denied you access to things that are medical, or they've asked you for information beyond and above, and they've invited your privacy, let us know. Please let us know, right? I'm happy to share your stories and maintain your anonymity, but please let us know. Let's start exposing this state-sanctioned abuse for what it really is. And that's all it is abuse. Right? It is a money-making scheme for a private company who, in her own words, Anne Ruston says the government isn't interested in how much Indue is profiteering off of the backs of people, right? They're not interested in Indue's profits at all. Okay? They're a private company, they're allowed to make as much profit as they want. But they're causing a lot of heartache, and they're causing a lot of stress, and they're crossing big boundaries. Big boundaries. And who the hell, right? Who the hell is wanting to look at these sorts of photos? I'd be questioning who the staff are. Because, like, with the bras incidents, we have 3 separate women that have been embarrassed and humiliated over buying bras. One blocked in a store, right? Bianca being told she needed to send photographs through of her bra, right, because she needed to buy plus size. And then this lady with the prosthetics bra having to send a photograph through of her scarred chest. My question is, who's got the obsession with female underwear and body parts that they want photos of? Now I want to know who's got the obsession with wanting to see pictures of a child in ICU to prove that the child is in hospital. You know, you couldn't even get that from a doctor. You know, and Indue could have rang the doctor or the hospital, and they would have, they may have confirmed the child was there, but they certainly wouldn't let on any medical, because that is a, you know, no, you can't. That's confidentiality, right? Tim, Indue don't have any rules to follow, mate. They're free to do whatever they please. Alright, they're not accountable to anybody. And I think they're getting too big for their boots now. And it needs to be stopped. So, yesterday I emailed 5 ALP senators and MPs in regards to one lady who was in hospital in Brisbane. They got back to me within an hour, which was really good. And they've since contacted that card holder and they're going to work with her in the next couple of weeks. Bear in mind, this lady's just had surgery yesterday, and when I spoke to her today, she was still under the effects of being on a drip with certain drugs and stuff like that. So they're going to work with that person. I will be on the phone again tomorrow with hopefully Linda Burney's office. I'll ring Penny Wong's office again, because you have to go through the senator or the MP of this for the state that the person is in, right? So therefore I'll be contacting other Labor senators and MPs tomorrow with these two stories, because both Anthony Chisholm's a bit busy at the moment. He's touring with Albanese, coming down the east coast of Queensland. So put it this way, I'll be on the phone again tomorrow. ALP will scrap this, and we need to make sure they get over the line. We need to get rid of this card, and I'll warn everybody now. Pauline Hanson supports this. Malcolm Roberts supports this. Right? The LNP support this. The National Party supports this. And don't be fooled by Clive Palmer. Craig Kelly supports it and voted for it. Alright, when he was with the LNP, and voted for it again as UAP last time. Okay, he doesn't support voluntary income management. He wants it all to be compulsory. So don't fall for these freedom fighters, because they're not fighting for anybody's freedom. They've already voted this through and legislated it through Parliament. The loss of people's privacy rights, autonomy, legal protections, consumer rights, statutory rights, autonomy, dignity and freedoms. They've already voted them away. Okay. ALP need to be empowered to stop it. The Greens will always be against it. I wish we had Rachel with us. I really do. I miss her so much. I could see her screaming across the Senate about this. I really could. You know, yeah, so Tim says you're sick of Clive ads on TV. I watch YouTube and I'm sick of him on YouTube as well. All I keep seeing is the coal train, the coal train, the coal train. He only wants his mines. That's all he wants. And he doesn't want to pay a mining tax or anything or contribute to this economy. And that's what people need to be aware of. He's not here. He's not going to introduce good social welfare policies and public policies and protect NDIS and Medicare. He's not here for that. Clive Palmer is here for his mining interests only. Right? That's all he was here for in 2014 under Palmer United Party. Okay? And don't forget, back then when Senator Jackie Lambie was Palmer United Party, she voted to start the card off in Seduna in 2016 under Palmer United Party. Remember? Okay? Now, Jackie is her own independent, and she voted against the card in 2020. Okay, and she's made it clear she won't vote for the card again. If they were to try again, if they want to try the rollout, they don't have her support for it anymore. So, yeah, so, but enough is enough. You've got all those shamans and you've got all those freedom fighters that are leading people like lambs to the slaughter. And please don't be fooled. Labor need to win the next election to stop this card. The Greens will always fight against income management. They've always been against it. And Australian progressives are trying to get as many candidates up and running as possible. They are also against the card. They have good social welfare and social justice policies. They're an independent, which we could use more progressives in the Senate for sure. So anyway guys, I'm going to go. Feel free to share this, and I've got another live to do, or another little 3-minute video to do on my TikTok about this. I'm not going to shut up. And if you're a cashless debit card holder and you've had a gut fall and you've been done over by this lot and you've been left stranded or they've asked something of you, like these personal things, please don't, don't hesitate. It's all right, Ron. I understood what you meant. I will take my blood pressure tablets tonight. Don't worry. I will. Yeah, we're not going to shut up. We're going to... When they call that election, we need to be out there, people, educating people about what's going on with this card. All right? And I'm going to implore every card holder out there, stand up. Stand up. Make a sign of what they've done to you. Take a photo, selfie, and send it to me. Stand up. There's 15,000 people forced on the card between Western Australia, Kalgoorlie, East Kimberley, Ceduna, and Hinkler, and a spattering in Northern Territory and Cape York. Let's get this visible. And let's get these people heard. And hopefully, if Labor wins, we can get rid of the card and people can have their dignity and their privacy back. Alright? Leanne, it's alright. I know what Ron was talking about. Yeah, so... And, yeah, no worries. Alright, guys. Take care. And I'll talk to you later.